That was I unmuted that whole time? Really? Well, that's dumb. That was really dumb. If I was, I'm all like clear my throat. But yeah, gotta go with the old reliable, right? Old reliable. Welcome to Order 42. We're back on Tuesday. It's good. It's good to be back. It was a long trip, I'm going to tell you. A long trip. But how are you guys doing? It's been 2 weeks since we've streamed. It was weird. It was weird to feel good but not be streaming. But I was all over the Southwest. 2,350 miles we put on the rental car. 2 rental cars. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy trip. But how are you guys doing? I mean, we got Ricky coming in first. Yeah, Ricky coming in first. But we've got Ninjinzu here. We've got Bonobo Juice here. We've got the 7th level here. I mean, hey. Thank Christ you were just clearing your throat and not pulling a dark side fill. Hey. That's the way it goes. But yeah, I've been gone since let's see. We drove out. We started driving on Friday the 29th. And we got back Saturday night. So, there you go. It was a long trip. A long trip, but hey, we're back. We're doing the thing. It's good to see you guys. It's good to it's just you just don't get it. I don't know if you guys get it. I look forward to these streams. I look forward to putting them together and doing things. So, yeah. What is that? Is this? Oh. Yeah. You definitely need to stay hydrated. That is, I was like, what is that? It's not marked correctly for some reason. But it's good to see you guys. Do you guys want to just get into it and I'll start showing off things? Let's do it. Because there's a lot. There's a lot. And I've got stories. I've got lots of stories. But this is the car that we rented. We rented from Enterprise. We rented a premium car. And we got this. And I got to tell you, it was not clean. like on the inside, it was not great. It was not great. But it was an SUV. It actually came in clutch many times. But we'll get more to that. So what we did is on Friday, we'd been planning this for a couple of weeks, only a couple of weeks. And the plan was let's figure out where we want to go and let's make the plan, the daily plan. And it was going to end in Vegas because flights are cheaper. So that was the plan, right? So we started off by heading up to Amarillo. And the reason we went to Amarillo is, well, I'll show you. First, we stopped off in Wichita Falls, which is that. Apparently that's what it's named for, and it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. But yeah, and we stopped off at this little nature area, And really, honestly, to me, the only really cool thing was we got to see prairie dogs up close. And this guy really wanted to get out. This guy really wanted to get out. So there you go. Enterprise and their gray cars, and they become when then becomes drive time and their gray cars. Yeah, I mean it's yeah. There was quite a few cars there, but we had called them a little bit earlier on Thursday night because it was like, hey, can we possibly pick up the car early? And yeah, they said no. We don't have any cars available yet. And I can understand why. By the way, if you're looking at the floor of our garage there and you're wondering if that's blood, no. That is paint. All of that on the ground there, all those little spots, the little droplets and things, that's paint. Because April paints. But anyway, we got the Amarillo, and there was this Paladuro Canyon. Now, I don't know how to explain this to you, but it's the prairie dog is quite dramatic. Yeah. And you know what, Ninjinzu, you're right. It was a sweet ride until it wasn't. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. There's a little drama that comes along with the car, but we'll get to that. But yeah, Paladuro Canyon in Texas. If you have never been to Texas, especially like pretty much everywhere, it's just flat. It is just incredibly flat. Okay? So we get to Amarillo, right? And we're wondering, okay, this is according to the park's website or whatever, they're saying this is the second largest canyon in the United States at 800 feet deep. And we're looking around and we're like 4 miles away from where we're supposed to enter the canyon. And we're like, where is it? And all of a sudden it just opened up. And this is a view from the bottom. This is a view from the top. It was like, what the hell? This is in Texas? Like, because it's seriously, it's just flat. And then all of a sudden, bam, it opens up like this. So yeah, I mean it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. There was this opening in the rock, and April was like, let's go in there. And I'm like, no. But yeah, it's quite impressive for it just being like, I mean, you can see the flatness, and then all of a sudden it just drops down. It's so weird. It was a weird place with all the colors and things. I mean, it was just impressive. Who knew? Who knew that Texas had this? But they do. So there you go. Mandalorian base? Yeah. Exactly. So that night we stayed in a Holiday Inn. It was I'll be honest, not in the best area. A little scary. Just gonna say. But it wasn't like, going with the boys, it wasn't that scary. Like we didn't need a gun, sitting next to the bed or anything on the table there. No. But it was kind of scary. So then we head out Saturday morning, which was our anniversary, and we go to Cadillac Ranch. Now, if you didn't know what Cadillac Ranch was, I didn't. Apparently, it's a bunch of Cadillacs stuck in the ground that you can spray paint. And we're like, okay. That's it. That's it. But we were able to get some kind of cool photos. So like I took this photo and I thought it was kind of cool, sunrise in the background and you can see it's kind of a neat thing. It's kind of neat. You could have gone caving and scooted on your belly through a squeeze. No. Look, I'll be honest, man. I'm not one of those people that gets scared of, I'm not claustrophobic. I'm not I don't worry about too many things. But going into a cave, no. Not up for that. No, not up for that. But we were able to spray paint a couple of things. So there's me and the wife, and you can see the AR with the heart and 23. There you go. I don't think April's I don't think I've ever shown a picture of April on the site or on the anything. So there you go. That's the debut of April. And then also I had to do a 42 on this tire thing. But it was kind of cool. It was kind of neat. We spent literally like 15 minutes there. We got back on the road and we headed southwest from Amarillo to Roswell. And yeah, we had some fun in Roswell. We went on a tour, which was kind of cool. Look, I'm just gonna tell you right now, there's gonna be some goofy pictures of me. All right, so yeah, yeah, so yeah, it was interesting. The tour was actually really cool. We learned a lot about I learned a lot about Roswell, the whole situation, more in depth than I have ever seen before, or heard before. So it was kind of cool. And you know, they lean into it, man. They really lean into it. I mean, you can see there's their Dunkin' Donuts. Here's their McDonald's, which is a big spaceship. When you go inside, there's only a couple of things that were like there's that, which is kind of neat. And then they have this laser thing that shoots on the floor and it changes. So you've got that and then that. I mean, it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. But like one of the things that we learned on the tour that I thought was really freaking cool was that, you know, those, Robert Rivera, welcome. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. We're just going through some of the trip that I took. The reason why we didn't have a stream last week. I was in Roswell and a lot of other places. But so have you seen the picture of the guy kind of holding up the weather balloon and he's got this face where he's like, really? This is what we're doing? Yeah. Apparently that guy took some material to his house and apparently buried it. So there's just a lot of cool things at Roswell. The tour was awesome. In fact, I'm just going to say that there's a possibility that I might have a future guest on the show that may or may not be the tour guide because he was awesome. Anyway, we'll get to that. We'll figure it out. But anyway, one of the coolest things that we got to see was we went to the airport and that hangar right there is supposedly where the alien bodies were stored before they got on the plane to go to Wright Air Force Base. So yeah, we got to see that. We didn't get to go in, but it was cool. And again, the tour guide was amazing. And his knowledge was like it was some really, really cool stuff I've never heard before. And it was really, really cool. But then we, you know, after the tour, we went around and looked around. And again, there's just Roswell stuff or alien stuff everywhere. I didn't show the street lights. The street lights look like kind of like alien heads with the, I mean, they just really, they leaned into it. But, yeah, here, this is the UFO museum and, it was kind of neat. I mean, most of it was kind of cheesy. I'll be honest. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's kind of cheesy, right? And then there was this, and the reason that I'm laughing I'm laughing there because I went to grab his crotch, and April said, "Would you stop that?" And so I did. I stopped it. But I mean, there was all kinds of stuff. This is a mural on the outside of a shop, which what's kind of funny is that the people look like aliens a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this place, like I said, man, if you're into aliens, yeah, if you're into the Roswell stuff, man, it's pretty awesome. I mean, they had this kind of stuff. I mean, that actually looks pretty good. Except for the people there. But that was behind glass. This was behind glass. Like I don't understand exactly what was going on here. Like, and then there was this one. It's kind of hard to really see that, but yeah. And then we stayed at the Fairfield Inn. And oh, dude, the storm that came through that night was ridiculous. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was really windy, really all that stuff. So yeah. So let's just take a break for a second. And let me get caught up in chat here. Well, there's not really a whole lot of chat here, actually. Ricky went to pick up a Series X. Okay. I thought you had already bought and then sold the Series X, but okay. It's good to see you, Ricky. I don't know what's going on. Been coughing and having to clear my throat. But yeah, man, this trip was, again, if you can plan it like this, it was a lot of fun because you got to see so much different stuff. So the next town that we went to, this was the next day. You buy and sell all the time. Yeah. I know. But the next town we went to was a town called Lincoln. And there's a few people that live there. But this is apparently a place where Billy the Kid was arrested. And then he broke out and killed a couple of guys. So we went through it. And there's I don't know if I think there's a better picture that I didn't save. I think that's some sort of fortification, which is really kind of strange. But there's the old church. Oh, here's another view of it. I didn't realize I got two pictures of it. And all you could do is like basically look inside. But here was, and it's a little crooked there this way, I guess. But that is the old courthouse where Billy the Kid did some things. He did some things. There's a picture of him. I mean, I think most people have seen this picture before. But apparently, he was downstairs. Guy, I guess it was, I don't know if it was Pat Garrett. Because Pat Garrett's the one that shot Billy the Kid, right? Pat Garrett was like, hey, watch him, whatever. He gets away from a guy, takes his gun, and he runs up these steps and then fires down at the guy coming up the steps. And the bullet hole is still there. And that is acrylic that they've put over the top of it so you can't reach your grimy, grubby hands in there. So, yeah, it was pretty neat. It was a cool little town. I mean, again, this was a place that was kind of, we just stopped at on the way to where we were headed. So, the Lincoln Town Wars, yeah. Almost every picture of you looking at the camera, you've got this surprised thumb in the butt shocked expression, and it kills me every time. Like that? Hey. Didn't you trade some TMNT toys for a Series X a couple of months ago? Yeah, Ricky. Did you? I don't know. Billy the Kid sounds like a real menace. He was. Killed a bunch of people. Hey, Robin Chad, I'm downtown, but we'll be heading home soon. Glad you had a great trip with the wife. Thank you, Wraith. I appreciate it. Billy the Kid Chaser? No, Cosma. No. But, no. But kind of. Not really, though. I think Billy's a lot like the Game Chaser Billy, a little taller, you know? But, so here's the thing. What we did when we were planning this trip, there's things that we want to stop for me, and then there's places that April wants to stop at. So a lot of the like ghost towns and weird abandoned places, that's what she wanted. But I wanted the nerdy goofy shit, right? So we stopped at the Very Large Array. Now, I don't know if you know what the Very Large Array is. But come on now. Here we go. It's basically a bunch of satellite dishes. And it's for astronomers. It's for SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And where's the picture? There it is. You see that? That's right. Carl Sagan filmed part of Cosmos at the Very Large Array. So it was really cool. For me, it was awesome. To me, this was the equivalent of going to the Air and Space Museum, Smithsonian, because it was like, dude, I'm basically standing where Carl Sagan was. And yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool. In fact, I have a couple of videos here. Let's see. Okay, good. So you can see, I mean, just how tall those are. It's just freaking cool. Now I'm going to shut up for a second because this one actually has audio. I'm just curious if this is actually going to be, because it's so freaking windy out here. The gusts like move you. They move you. There's so much. God. Anyway, yeah, look at that. That's freaking cool. It was freaking cool. It was freaking cool. Let me turn those off now. Okay. So, yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. And yes, contact was there. But the wind, dude, the wind, it felt like somebody was pushing you, like literally pushing you. It was, I can't believe it. Now, what this is it's at 7,000 feet. So, and it's just like this big flat plane. And I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of see it along this picture here. But there are tracks alongside. And they're kind of in a triangular formation, right? And they're on those tracks like this. And what they do is they take those satellites out, or those dishes out, and they have them in specific areas or a specific configuration to basically triangulate certain things. And we just happened to be there when it was on the most spread out. So you can see how far away those dishes are. I want to say there's 27 of them. But you can see they go way off in the distance there. Let's see if I can zoom in here. Yeah, there you go. You see them go way off in the distance. But it's just, like I said, man, for a science nerd, it was amazing. Now, here's where the first part of the story... Alejandro, welcome. Good to see you. Here's where the first part of the troubles began. So we were in, where were we? Oh, we were in Lincoln, and it was going to take like an hour and a half or something like that to get to the Very Large Array, which is just past Socorro, New Mexico. So what we did is we got to Socorro, and we stopped off at Arby's. We were hungry, right? Stopped off at Arby's. We ate, and I, we jumped in the car. I'm driving, and April, on the way out there, in the middle of freaking nowhere, April starts to have an allergic reaction where it's like she's got hives, and it's really freaking her out. We stopped off at this town. I'm guessing there were 30 people that lived in this town. We had to stop at a Family Dollar or whatever, and we got children's Benadryl. And that's the only thing they had. So, yeah, it was kind of scary. But she said, "No, I'm okay. I'm good." So we went ahead and, I mean, of course, we went ahead and went to the VLA anyway. There was no real choice. We were going to have to stop at the VLA anyway to get to where we were headed, the next major town. But it was kind of scary. And on the way from the VLA to this place called Sholo, where we stayed at probably, if it wasn't for the Vegas hotel, which we'll get to, this was the nicest hotel we stayed in. It's the Hampton Inn in Sholo. Was amazing. It was awesome. And they had cookies out, and the cookies were good, but it was kind of scary. So the first thing we did after we left the VLA is we went to an emergency room, like an urgent care place. This was on Sunday. And they gave her a shot of adrenaline and all that stuff. And they said, how much Benadryl did you take? How many milligrams? And it was something nuts, like 150 milligrams of Benadryl. And they're like, you should be passed out right now. And she's like, I feel fine now. But the hives were there, the allergic reaction was still happening. Apparently, her dad had an allergic reaction on a golf course. And the way that he described his was like seriously severe. So apparently she inherited that from him. And the problem is she doesn't know what she's allergic to. And it's like it's certain like plastics and rubbers, not rubbers, but you know what I mean? Like whatever the material is, don't get any funny ideas, guys, okay? Like different kinds of rubber. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was a cleaning product at Arby's. I don't know if it was something that she touched in Arby's. I don't know. But what's weird is throughout the rest of the week, she kept having these little flare-ups where she had to just take 2 Benadryl, and because it would get her face and her neck would get really red. It was weird, man. It was weird, and it was kind of scary. But spoiler alert, everything was okay. We went to, in fact, we stopped at Walmart like 4 times over the trip. So Walmart got a lot of our money on this trip. But yeah, we got some regular Benadryl, and you know, she just was taking it regularly, because what happens is with her is when she starts to get an allergic reaction, it continues, and like just the littlest thing will set her histamines off. So yeah, that's how Sunday ended, was us going to an urgent care. Oh, you know what? Dang it. I should be telling you what we ate. Okay. Okay, so at Amarillo, nothing special. We went to Freddy's. April had never had Freddy's before. We had Freddy's. I had I think a bacon cheeseburger, and I think she had like the chicken fingers or something, or I don't remember, but something with onion rings, because she wanted onion rings. So there you go. In Roswell, there's a place called Portofino's. It's an Italian place. Whoa. Wow. Good stuff. Good stuff. So if you're ever in Roswell and you want some good Italian food, go to Portofino's. Amazing. Amazing. It'd be cool to work with those. Yeah, the those dishes were just, well, I mean, just to work on that kind of science would be interesting, but you know, you have to basically prove yourself to a group of scientists to say, hey, this research I'm doing is really important. And that's what they were saying. There was a speaking of contact at the VLA, there's like a I don't know, like a 25-minute history of the VLA, and talking about, you know, the every all the movies that have, you know, had the VLA in it. Of course, Contact, and they showed a little clip of Cosmos, and yeah, I mean, it was narrated by Jodie Foster, which was kind of neat. But yeah, that's what they were talking about. Is that they were just like, you have to have some serious science to use this technology. So I was like, man, that's really cool. And it's something like, it's like an incredible amount of information is taken from these dishes. So I mean, it was like super cool to me, and it's very nerdy, but hey, I like nerdy stuff, and it was awesome. And I wanted to check that Contact. I'll tell you this: what I wanted to do is I wanted to be there at sunset and do the whole, you know, the scene from Contact where she puts the headphones on, but they close at 4 every day. So apparently you have to, you know, you have to be somebody to be able to film there after 4 o'clock apparently. But anyway, it was cool. It was really cool. If I become allergic to Arby's Jamocha shakes, I'm calling it. It's over. Yeah, I don't, and that's the thing. It would be easier if we knew. If we knew what she was allergic to, but we don't know. We don't know what happened. And she's had allergic tests, and they're saying, yeah, you're allergic to different kinds of plastics and whatever, you know, these poly whatever rubber stuff. So it could have been anything. It could have been anything, but it was scary for a bit. So if they use powered gloves to handle the food, that could be it. Powered gloves? See, I don't know, man. It makes sense though to me that it would have been something that she swallowed. You know what I mean? So if it was something like you said, somebody handling the food that had like rubber gloves or something on, I don't know. And James, welcome. Good to see you. One time my employer switched cleaning companies and I came into work, laid my arm across my desk, and my hand swelled up and until it looked like a Mickey Mouse glove. Had to go get a shot. Yeah, it happened to me one time at Kroger. And this was way back then, like 95. And it's never happened again. And it was something they said, yeah, because I remember smelling something really strong. It's weird. Did I miss the vacation stories? No, Carbonite. We're kind of right in the middle of it. There's a lot. There's definitely a lot. When we got to Sholo though, okay, so we're getting caught up with the food. Okay, we get to Sholo, we go to the urgent care. She gets her shot. We go to Walmart. We pick up the Benadryl and all this, you know, waters and things that we're gonna need for the next day. And at the urgent care, the guy says, if you're here for tonight, you should go over to this Mexican food place called Lacanos. It was good. It was fine. It was really good. I mean, like, the one thing that I've noticed is that when you go to a place, that town is going to have a very limited idea of what's good and what's not. And sometimes what they think is really good is kind of crap compared to everything else. Like, there's this really, really, I don't remember the town, but it's south of here and south of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And people go nuts over this place. Like, I think it had like on Yelp, it was like 4.2 or something. It was like really, really high. And we were like, gosh, we got to try this place. It literally tasted like canned crap. It just, or frozen crap. It's like this tastes like something I could buy at Kroger and microwave in 4 minutes. And people were going on about it. Oh, it's so good. I don't know. It was kind of crap. So This place was fine. Wasn't great, wasn't bad. It was fine. So there you go. I have to use Brave browser to watch this because ad blocker is blocked on YouTube. You read the Wheel of Time series. Will you read the Witcher novels? I have read all 8 of them. The Witcher, I don't know. Maybe somewhere down the road. I have a plan. I have a reading list full of stuff. So I don't really want to add another series in right now. I'm still in the middle of Dark Tower. I'm in the middle of reading all of those. So yeah, right now I'm good. I'm good. The NES Power Gloves? Powdered gloves. Oh, the powder gloves. Okay, maybe. That's true in a small town. Don't try that in a small town. My ad blocker still works. Hey, there you go. Ricky's not using, I don't know. Y'all talk about ad blockers. I'm like, whatever. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. But anyway, the next day, next morning, we wake up and we go to the Petrified Forest. Now, the Petrified Forest is exactly what you think it is. It's a bunch of petrified wood. And it's interesting. And you can see me showing off the petrified wood. It's cool. It's cool, but I mean, I'm kind of like you can see the layers in the stuff there. Which is kind of neat. That looks like the wasteland in the new Blade Runner movie or Fallout. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. This is a nice little panoramic shot that April did of the area, which is kind of cool. Come on. That's funny, right? I said wood. I did say wood. Those old ass tree rocks can be yours if the price is right. I don't know. For some reason, I said, let's do a panorama, and I'm at the end of it. I don't know. It made me laugh. But it's cool. You know, the different layers of things. I think that's neat. And this sign was actually kind of funny. Please be in your vehicle by 6:30 p.m. or hungry coyotes might eat you. I don't know. Kind of funny. But yeah, it's pretty. That grin, I know, I'm a goofball. But after a while, it's kind of like, yeah, it's a bunch of rocks. Now, the Petrified Forest is right next to the Painted Desert. And the Painted Desert is kind of awesome. And that's the Painted Desert. It is just nuts. Just waiting for my sister to get off work with a pineapple margarita. All right. But also the Painted Desert is right next to Route 66. And there's an old Studebaker just sitting there. It's kind of neat. So I took a picture of it. So take that. So you remember an old mafia car? Right. I mean, I don't know if it was that. It's just an old car. I don't know. They jacked the car. Well, I mean, this is part of it's part of a like a Route 66 display kind of. I mean, it's small. It's very small, but I thought the car was cool. Now you remember, we did Contact, right? With the VLA. Well, there's another movie that I wanted, and it was on the way. So we went to Winslow, Arizona, which was the next stop and we got to see the large meteor crater. You sure that wasn't Oak Cliff? No, it was definitely not Oak Cliff. But yeah, so if you remember, the movie Starman takes place, or I guess the third act takes place in Winslow, Arizona. It was cool. It was really, really cool. And also very windy. My hair is all over the place. But very windy. And it just, man, it's jaw-dropping. Like, holy crap. Holy crap. It's just cool. So we leave Winslow and we head toward Flagstaff. Flagstaff is where we're staying for the night. Okay? And on the way to Flagstaff, there is a different place that April saw, and it was sort of like a volcanic, I can't remember what it's called, Sunset Crater. And it's basically where, I want to say I think it was 1,000 years ago, a volcano erupted. And yeah, a lot of the rock is still there. Dude, it's so cool. Bucho, welcome. Good to see you. Dude, this place was sweet. It's just cool how, I mean, the rocks and everything, it's just awesome. And again, we're in Arizona now, and I gotta say, Arizona has some of the friendliest people. I had like nothing but good things to say about the people of Arizona. I had such a good time. And it was beautiful. But look at the side of that mountain, how it's all like, it's still black. It's crazy. And I mean, the ground is all still jacked up, and it's just beautiful area. Beautiful area. But we were there as, toward the end of the day. And so, I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's so freaking cool. So we're driving back to Flagstaff, and we got a great sunset too. So pretty awesome. I was really, really impressed with the beauty of Arizona. Now let me get caught up in some things here. I got COVID at the airport this year while on vacation. I was sick for a month. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, James. Sorry to hear that. We were in an airport for a very short amount of time, and then we got the hell out of there. But yeah, as far as I know, no COVID. I mean, we only got back 3 days ago. So you're saying that that wasn't a meteor crater, that was from a fart? That's how the dinosaurs bit it? I mean, I'm telling you, that thing was impressive. And that's another one where you can't see it from like the highway. You go off the highway a little bit and you're going up a little bit, and then you go into that visitor center, which Bucho said, it just missed that visitor center. Yes. And then you open the doors and it's like, whoa, that's awesome. I mean, it looks big. If you've seen Starman, the movie Starman with Jeff Bridges and Karen Allen, directed by John Carpenter, 1984. It's pretty dated now, but it was really good. I mean, I still like that movie. But if you've seen that, it looks big, but man, it was nuts. You miss my long, heavy metal hair? I don't. I don't at all. In fact, I love the hair being short. It feels so nice. And in the summertime, it was so much better. I didn't have little hairs sticking to everything and getting in my eyes, and no. You haven't seen Starman, but you've seen Meteor Man. I don't even know what Meteor Man is. Meteor Man? I don't know what Meteor Man is. Those rocks can be as sharp as razors. The Indian used them for tools and weapons. Yes. And they actually kind of keep you on a path. And they're kind of like, don't do that. Now, what's interesting is that apparently the first astronauts went out there and walked on those rocks to prepare for walking on the moon, which I thought was kind of neat. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. There were some pictures of, astronauts walking on that stuff. So yeah. Flagstaff is when he had to strap Aunt Edna on the roof. The skies in all these pictures are rocking. I know. Beautiful. I'm telling you, man, Arizona. The only thing that sucked about Arizona was the freaking gas. Holy crap. The gas was like $1 more than it is here. And then we paid in Vegas, because we had to fill up the car, we paid $6 a gallon. 87. Like crap unleaded. You know what I mean? 87 octane. $6 a gallon. Holy crap. Robert Townsend. That's it. Yes. I know the movie. I've never seen it. Reginald Starman. That's his name. Reginald Starman. You should get a mid fade. I'm a little old for fades. I mean, all I basically say is, it is faded. It's just long now. I need to get it cut again. But yeah. I've missed your musk. Aunt Edna from National Lampoon's Vacation. It's been a while. Didn't immediately get it. I preferred European Vacation myself. And there's Cryptic Mayhem, everybody. Welcome, Cryptic. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. I haven't seen the original Vacation in so long. I watched European Vacation when I was younger. And then, of course, Christmas Vacation I've seen countless times. But the original Vacation, I think I've only seen that once. And it was a long time ago. It's probably 15 years ago. So yeah, I'm not going to immediately grab onto that. So I would fill my Jeep up every day and plastic jugs. Dude, I'm telling you that the gas was nuts. Nuts. Now, the next day we had to get up. Oh, I didn't talk about what we had to eat. In Flagstaff, we had this place called Fat Olives. And it is a fire, wood oven brick fire wood pizza thing. I'm not saying it right. But Fat Olives apparently is one of those places that Guy Fieri, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, he went there. But a lot of people were saying, like, I think we got the name of that place from someone that April worked with. So we said, all right, let's go. So we went. And it was fine. It was fine. But April was also still feeling a little weird. Where it's like, and with her, and look, it's just like me too, with the Crohn's sometimes, when I'm going through, a, what do you call it? Like a flare up. Everything, like you tend to be like super tuned in to everything your body's doing. So you're like kind of freaked out and you're not really present. You're just kind of internalizing everything and you're just trying to, so I think that's part of the reason why we didn't exactly enjoy Fat Olives as much as we could. It was fine, but like for me, it was kind of like, it was good. It was good. So, and I'm sorry, I don't have any pictures. I didn't take pictures. I think I did take a picture of a couple. But I don't think I have them saved here. So I'll have to look. Let me see if I have anything. As we didn't, okay, there's so many freaking pictures and this is the wrong album. Sorry, guys. Okay, I did take a couple of pictures. Let me see if I have. Okay. That's my aunt. I'll say this. We didn't typically eat at anywhere like super crazy. For a couple of reasons. We're going to be on the road. And with Crohn's boy, you don't want to get too crazy. You just don't want to get crazy. Okay, I think I only have like one picture of food. I have two pictures. Oh, yeah, that was good. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah. All right. Sorry. Did you think Euro Trip or Harold and Kumar to Europe is no. I yeah. Those aren't for me. I was already I feel like I aged out of comedies at a certain point, or those kinds of comedies. I just didn't really like them. I didn't think they were that funny, so I don't I've seen both of those, but I don't remember them like at all. Like, yeah. You're lucky you didn't get food poisoning eating in all those restaurants. I'd just take a gas grill with me and buy fresh meats at the local butcher shops. Yeah, that's no. We're not those kind of people. We'd rather eat at a place when we're not at home. But hey, we all the Sheetz gas stations go to dollar 1.776 a gallon for 4th of July. The lines were way too long. It's like your senses are heightened like Daredevil. I mean, no, but you're I mean, that's funny. But it's you're super in tune with your body, and it makes you not really a person. Like, you have trouble doing regular things. And she was so concerned that she was going to have this crazy allergic reaction, have to go to the hospital, and then it ruined the rest of the trip, that it just, it got in her head. And that's just part of the thing. So, and I'll say this, I drank way too much caffeine on the trip. So, midway during the day, I'm like, oh my God. I mean, seriously, today I fell asleep watching the new Gen V. Does anybody watch that, by the way? Gen V is pretty good. Pretty good show. But I fell asleep watching it earlier. Thank you for pronouncing aunt the way you did. I get ripped constantly for not saying aunt. I mean, I say aunt and aunt, just depending. I mean, the hotel pics are hidden. Yeah, I didn't actually apparently take a picture of. Where did we stay in Flagstaff? I don't remember. Oh, it was another Holiday Inn. I just, for whatever reason, I didn't put it in the list. So yeah, we stayed at another Holiday Inn. And a lot of these the reason that we stayed at specific places was because she got a deal through her company that she works with or works for. Oh, and Flagstaff is a dark sky city, which I'd never heard of this before. I never realized this was a thing. But basically, all of their street lights are dimmed down, and so there's less light pollution, so that you can see the stars and stuff. Unfortunately, in Flagstaff, it was the moon was out, but that big bright light there, kind of like right there, you can see it next to that cloud. That's Jupiter. But we were able to see all kinds of stuff on this trip. It was kind of neat. I should have put that one on here, but I did not. But yeah, there were a couple of places that we stayed at that were dark sky cities. So it's pretty cool. I have it on good authority that he hasn't seen Buckaroo Banzai either. Gonna have to stage a movie intervention next time I see him. Hey, there were some movies that I just wasn't allowed to see as a kid, and I mean, that's just the way it was. My parents, I think, saw Buckaroo Banzai and they said, "Yeah, you can't watch that," even though it was PG-13. And I watched plenty of other PG-13 movies, but they didn't allow me to watch it. And then I never went back to watch it. It's just one of those that slipped through the cracks. I didn't see Beverly Hills Cop till like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. So that's another one. So, I mean, it's just a thing. It's just a thing. I saw that Ninjinzu. Idiots ran out of gas in the line and had to push their cars. I had too much dignity to fall into that. Retropalooza ambush with movie screenings. Hey, I'd be down for that. That's a question for Bucho. My thing messed up here. Okay. Gen V is pretty cool. Yeah, it's not bad. I was a truck driver and got food poisoning eating out on the road. That's why I don't like to eat many restaurants and gas stations. I bring a grill and rice steamer. No, and that's definitely for sure. Absolutely. I totally get that. But I don't have a colon anymore, so I don't typically worry about it. And she, as far as I know, she hasn't had food poisoning the entire time we've been married. Maybe once. But yeah. And no, I did not like Beverly Hills Cop. I didn't care for it. That humor does not age well. If I had seen it back then, yeah, I probably would have liked it, but I didn't. So now I have to judge it with my now brain, and my now brain goes, that's not that funny. I have a feeling, and I'm not trying to go in with preconceived notions, because you know what that happened. That's a bad thing when you're watching movies. You don't want to go in with those preconceived notions. But I have the idea that when I watch Buckaroo Banzai, I'm going to have a hard time adjusting to that mid-80s thing. I've got to do that. So, yeah. And yeah, those skies are amazing. I'm telling you, it was gorgeous. Everywhere we went, it was gorgeous. Now, I mean, there was a lot of dirt, but it was amazing. And just wait till you see some of these Zion pictures. Holy crap. I have seen 48 Hours, but it has been a long time. And I didn't think that was funny either. Here's the thing. I've never been a big Eddie Murphy fan. I just never was. But I have seen that. Yes, I have seen it. And it may be the different city water. Yeah, if you drink nothing but Cokes. We brought a 36 pack of Ozarka water. And then we bought another 30. We went through the waters, man. We had a cooler in the back of that Cadillac. We went through the waters. So we bought another 36 pack of the what is it, Arrowhead? Which is basically like Ozarka, but in Arizona. I think. I could be wrong, but I think it's spring water and all that kind of stuff. Awesome. Never had a problem. Dropping in for a minute to say hi, Ted. Hi. Hi, sir. How's it going? I think you, me, and Grindhead should do a best of the worst kind of thing. I mean, we could, but I'm going to be the naysayer. Because a lot of those movies, Trading Places, yeah, another one where it's okay. It's fine. But it's not like I don't have nostalgia for it because I didn't watch it back then. You know? There's a lot of movies like that. Now, what's weird is my parents would let me watch Aliens and Alien, but they wouldn't let me watch a lot of the comedies. And I think it's probably because of, they were worried about nudity and stuff. I don't know. Better Off Dead I saw. I love Better Off Dead. Come on. It's awesome. Do you have any idea what the street value of this mountain is? Yeah. Look, I can't move my right arm. I love that. It's so good. It's like, hey, I gotta go. My grandmother dropped acid and hijacked a school bus full of penguins. So I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye. Yeah, Better Off Dead's great. Partially redeemed. Okay, good. I don't get a lot of time these days to game. To game these days. The last thing I spent a lot of time on was Hotline Miami about a decade ago. That and FTL, that turn-based space combat game. I don't know about that. Arrowhead is West Coast, Deer Park. Yeah. Deer Park is East Coast. Right. Okay. Because that and MGSV are some of my fave games of all time, and I was wondering what you might have thought of it. I laughed out loud at the nudity scene in Oppenheimer. It was so out of place and surprising. It was, but I think it humanizes Oppenheimer a little bit. That his scenes with her, even though some of it was like I don't know if I would have made that choice as a director, but you know what? It's not my movie. And you know what? Regardless, that movie's awesome. I heard Better Off Dead was pretty good. That's another one though. Like if you Carbonite, if you haven't seen Better Off Dead, that might be one of those movies where you're like, this doesn't work today. It's basically a guy is messed up in the head because his girlfriend breaks up with him. He's obsessed with her, so he tries to kill himself over and over. That's basically what the movie is. But I love that movie. I think that movie in particular, that and One Crazy Summer, I like that one too. But those two movies made me think John Cusack has got to be like a huge star. And he never became a huge star. I like 1408 because of him. I think John Cusack is great. Grosse Point Blank. Love that movie. So, anyway. I'd be interested, Carbonite, if you ever do check out Better Off Dead, if the comedy works for you now, if you hadn't seen it. Because that seems like one of those movies where there would be that disconnect, and it might not be as funny today, a fresh view today than it would have been back then. I messed around with MGSV Infinite Heaven, but never played the real game. Did you ever eat at a restaurant far from home that was so good and you were mad and sad you would never have a chance to go there again? We're going to get to a couple of those. Yeah. Okay. So Flagstaff. We did Fat Olives. We stayed at the place. Not Gary. It has been ages. Good to see you. Probably the best picture. You're here for the best picture. Probably the best picture in the whole group. And here you go. Here you go. April 9 in front of the Grand Canyon. Holy crap. So if you remember, Palo Duro Canyon is 800 miles down. 800 miles. That's a long down. 800 feet down. The Grand Canyon is over a mile down from the top of the edge. Did I ever do that? I did. Okay, good. Good. Sorry, I got sidetracked. But yeah, just gorgeous. That's friggin' nuts. Wow. Yeah. Over a mile down to the end, or to the bottom. Gonna go for a bit, fellas. GG's all Ninjinzu. Well, thank you. Oh, and look at this, Ninjinzu. This is something that Ninjinzu created. Look at that. He created this, and it's, why is it not, it's not showing the whole thing. I just thought this was cool. Let me see if I can get rid of that and get rid of that. I just thought this was neat. He created this. And I wanted to show it off, but I just hadn't gotten to it yet. But there you go. But Ninjitsu. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you for being here and checking things out and watching and stuff. Let me go back here. Let me turn this on and turn this back on. Okay. Okay. Oops. Yeah. So back to this. Thanks for showing, Rob. Definitely enjoyed making it. Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. I mean, I really would like some more motion graphic stuff, but I just don't have time to devote to that. You know, I'm because the thing is I want to get more into writing, which I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have to, I mean, this is one of those things where maybe I should not talk about this right now, but who cares? It's Order 42. Everything's up for grabs. But like me, I'm not going to stop doing the show or anything like that, or stop doing videos, but I want to scale back a little bit because I want to get some more writing done. I have some ideas that I want to put into motion, and I'm also thinking that I'm going to start getting in touch with some of the people I worked with Adventures in Game Chasing, and help them with their movies, which might mean that I might have to not stream for a couple of weeks here and there. We'll see. We'll see. So anyway, I mean, it's nothing I should really super go into now, but I do want to. I've got some ideas for scripts and for maybe a book that I want to get going with, and yeah. So basically, I'm gonna be more busy away from the channel. It just means I'll scale back a little bit, but it won't be that bad. It won't be that bad. But yeah, I just think that's a beautiful picture, and yeah. That is more than a mile. Happy anniversary again. Welcome back from your trip. Thank you, Ninjitsu. I appreciate it. I went to the Grand Canyon when I was a kid. I got bored and went to the pinball machines. Wondered what the whole point of the trip was, but I was only 6 years old. Yeah, well, when you live in Texas and you don't see mountains and you just see nothing but flat, that's just what happens. You're not that impressed with things like that. But this is insanity. Just insanity. Look at that. That's the Colorado River there. This was really cool. We went to this place called the Watchtower. And it's got some, what do they call them? Indigenous Americans, I guess is their preferred name. I actually read online that they prefer the name American Indian. And I don't know if that's, I think Indigenous American is a better, it's more precise. But hey, I don't know. But on the inside are these amazing paintings and drawings. I thought this was just cool. As you go up that watchtower, it was just really, really cool. This place was just cool. There's no other way to say it. It was just really, really neat. So yeah, I enjoyed it. And there's us again on the top there. And yeah. I mean, look at those colors, man. Let me zoom in. Look at that. That's impressive. Impressive stuff. If I was a kid, I wouldn't have wanted to see the Grand Canyon. As an adult, I bet I'd appreciate it in person. Yeah. Like, once you've lived in a place for a long time, yeah, you're impressed with things that you don't get to see. That would be cool on a shirt, too. Oh, yeah, the Order 42. Yeah. Will you use AI software to help you write? No. I have no problems with people coming up with things to do that, but I would have to rewrite so much of it because I'm very particular about my dialogue that it wouldn't help me. But and there's elk just running around the park. Here's kind of a funny picture. So I'm on the phone. Oh, this is another piece of drama. So at this point, April's in the car. I'm on the phone with our alarm system, right? Because my in-laws came over to get the mail, take the trash out, and all that kind of stuff. So there's not a basically a sign on the front of our house that says, "Hey, we're not here right now." You know what I mean? So they came and did that, and in the middle of all that, the alarm system wouldn't work. So I'm on the phone with them trying to get them to help me because I can't get the system to work from my phone. It won't work to arm the system. And they're like, "Well, to do any kind of troubleshooting, someone has to be there." And I said, "Have you been listening to me? I'm not at home. I'm like I'm multiple states away. I cannot do anything about this right now. And they're like, well, it's because your system is old. So, for so much a month, we could install a block. And I'm like, oh my God, you people. So I hung up on them. But while I'm on the phone with them, these elk just walk up. Like, seriously, feet away. What you can't tell is that that's like the front of a building. It's front of like a park ranger's building. So if you can imagine, you're moved over. So that's that piece of walkway there is straight across in the front of the building. They just walk right in front of where we're parked. They literally just walk right by us. They didn't care. They did not care, and it was kind of cool. So yeah, I mean, look at that, man. That's crazy. And yeah, I mean, if all you did was just sit there and look at it, sure, it might get boring, but when you're standing there, you cannot help but be awed at this. I mean, it's just gorgeous, And then we were there at sunset, of course. So we were taking pictures at sunset, and man, the colors change. And it's just like, wow. I mean, look at that, dude. That is nuts. And these cameras on the new iPhone. No, it's the iPhone. This is the iPhone 14, but still, man, I was so impressed with the quality of the images we got from this. There's another one close to sunset. Let me zoom in there. It almost, oops. Well, there's another one at sunset, but as the sun is setting, it's almost like, it almost looks like snow in a weird way. But yeah, man, gorgeous stuff. Gorgeous stuff. So, okay, are you going to get Cyberpunk 2.0 on the Xbox or PS5? Well, I have the original on PS5, so I'll probably get it there, but I'm in no hurry. So, I call them the natives wherever I go, be it South America or Vietnam. I mean, yeah, I think Native American is probably pretty close too, but apparently, a lot of different tribes are like, we don't want to be called that because that's something a white person came up with, which I understand. It's just a term to basically lump everybody together. The tribes are very, very different, and they have different ideals and all that kind of thing. So if you know who they are, you could call them by their tribal name. And around there's the Navajo, the Hopi. I can't remember them all. There's one that's kind of long, a longer name. I can't remember it. But we dealt with mostly Navajo people while we were there. And it was great. It was fun. I grew up in Tennessee and was driving to the top of Lookout Mountain, Sand Mountain, Signal Mountain all the time, but I'd still like to see the Grand Canyon. It's something else. It's something else, for sure. I would want to bring my rifle. Fresh game meat. Yeah, you can't hunt in the Grand Canyon National Park. You crazy? Hey, you can't do that. You can't do that, James. I got Phantom Liberty for my PC, PS5, and Series X. Wow. Man, those iPhones aren't very good at taking pictures. What a waste of money. Navajo, like Billy the Kid's pal Chavez? Apparently, yes. Yes. Let's see, what's next here? Yeah. Entering Navajo Reservation, U.S. Department of the Interior. So there's this bridge over the Colorado River. But the reason we were doing this, we're going through this area, is because we're going in here. So this is Antelope Canyon is what it's called. And It's basically the whole thing is on it's on Navajo land, and it's Navajo led. So Navajo um uh guides. And this is how you get out there. It's about, I don't know, 2 miles, 3 miles. It's all sand, and you're riding in the back of one of these things. And I'm going to tell you, we were so covered in sand. I felt like, man, Anakin would hate it here for sure. But it was crazy. And it's basically just sand, right? So it was nuts. Yeah, more caves. No Minox that I know of. And yes, they are their own government, for sure. For sure. And you know what? I understand that. I get it. I get that. But when you go in, it is gorgeous. And unfortunately, I say unfortunately, but there's a really famous picture of this place that the sun is coming in like directly through, and it's like a halo. It's beautiful. But we were there at the wrong time of year. I think you have to be there in June or July. And that's also the rainy season. So it's kind of nuts. But you can see just the colors in here. And this is another place that April picked, and I got to say, man, she picked she picks good places. Look at that. Awesome place. Awesome. And look at like this right here. It looks like a heart. There was a bunch of that. Bunch of little cool areas. There was actually, I wonder if I kept the picture in here. I may not have. But there was an owl up there. But super, just beautiful. And the thing is that these pictures don't do the color justice. It was gorgeous. And then like this one here it looks like, if you look through that, it looks like fire. Can you see that? Where it kind of looks like fire going up those pictures are nuts. It's awesome. For some reason, I desperately want to go there and smoke pot, a water bong. I mean, sure. Again, this is Navajo Nation, so I'm pretty sure. Did you see the size of those chickens? Oh, yeah, we haven't gotten to it yet. And then, of course, what do I do? I'm screwing around. Because this is all sandstone, right? So, yeah. Now, we leave here, and oh man, I didn't actually get a picture of the outside of this hotel. Where was this? I think it was called the Fairfield Inn in let me see. Yeah, Fairfield Inn and Suites, Zion National Park. And we stayed here for 2 days. And we had a balcony. And it was awesome. And this is, if you look at that, that's nuts. The amount of stars that my phone was able to pick up from the balcony. It was awesome. And of course, that brightest star right there is Jupiter again. I don't think you can see. I think if I'd gone out on the balcony and kind of did that, you could see Cassiopeia off to the left of the picture. It was amazing out there. So 2 nights. Why you take so many magical ass pictures? Hey, April took most of these. I took a lot of them. Like, I took probably 30 or 40% of what you're seeing here. But she took the rest of them. She took some amazing stuff. But the reason that we were staying here is because of Zion National Park. Now, Zion is apparently one of those places where it's top-rated park in the country. I had never even heard of it. And I got to tell you, it was better than the Grand Canyon for me, if you can believe that. But you'll see. You'll see. So this is on the way there. Was kind of cool. The way that they have it is it's basically you're going through this canyon with these huge freaking walls, okay? And there are shuttle stops. So there's a shuttle that runs back and forth, back and forth. And like every 5-10 minutes, somebody stops here. You can go to the next stop, look around, and then by the time you're done, you come back, wait a couple minutes, a shuttle comes, and you can go to the next stop, right? It was gorgeous. Now, one of these stops, I got away from April a little bit, went down to the river, wild turkeys. Kind of cool. Modern phones capture some pretty great detail even at night, which is why we have so many more great pictures showing detailed images of UFOs than we used to see. Oh, wait. No, we don't. I mean, you're right. When you're right, you're right. But man, look at that. So it's basically you're looking at mountains and stuff, but they're right next to you and you're walking on these trails. It is gorgeous. And then there's a river going through it. I mean, look at that. Beautiful, man. Just a beautiful place. Now, BC dropped by to say hi. BC, good to see you, man. Good to see you. But yeah, we got up at like 6 a.m. to go on this hike. And I think that day, let me see, I can actually tell you. On Thursday, 7.6 miles on Thursday. Yeah, you can see on my phone there, the largest one, the tallest one. Yeah, that's 7.6 miles. 6.4 miles on Friday, 5.4 miles on Sunday, 3.5 miles at the Grand Canyon because we were on a tour, 5.3 miles the previous day, 5.8 miles. Dude, we were putting some miles on that freaking on these legs, and then did 2,300 miles. I'm telling you, it was crazy. But yeah, I mean, just look at this place. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. I mean, come on. Like you're standing there and you're looking around at this. It's just beautiful, man. That's beautiful, man. Amazing stuff. And then you're just walking around and some deer walk up to you, you know. It's magical. It's a magical place. Look at that. That's like the little eating area over here. But you can see there's parking, but there's not a lot. They don't allow traffic that far into the park. Great place. So my suggestion, if you're wanting to get out into nature and you live in the US and you're going to be in the southern Utah area, yeah, check out Zion National Park. Beautiful place. I mean, look at some of these pictures that April and I took. I mean, come on. Come on. Beautiful. And then on top of that, can you see that? Yeah, that's a dude climbing up this freaking mountain. Nuts, dude. Nuts. Nuts. So, if you're keeping score, for me, definitely, I would say Zion is probably, if you're a hiker, BC, if you're a hiker, man, you need to look up Zion and make it make it a goal. So, because it's amazing. crap amount of water. Magical ass weed. Modern phone, yeah. Oh, got those in my backyard in the morning. In Tennessee, that's a crick. Yeah, I mean, there's some bigger ones for sure. And thank you for BC hitting that like button. I appreciate that. You're a big hiker? Oh yeah, man. I was really impressed. Really impressed with Zion. Now I can't remember the name of this place. I don't know if I took pictures here. Hold just a second. Let me see if I have a okay, there's the Antelope Canyon. There's Zion. Oh, by the way, the video at the very beginning that the stream starting soon, that was Zion. That was me holding my phone out the window for 4 minutes while April drove this crazy road. It was awesome. Grafton. This is Grafton. Okay. So, as I told you, April likes ghost towns. And she picked a few on the way. This one was the only one where it was literally abandoned. I mean, they have come out and kind of kept it up, but it was kind of freaky. But it's called Grafton. And this is like one of the few remaining houses. And when you go inside, there's this picture, which is creepy. And unfortunately, there's a glare, but you can see he's sitting with his second wife and fourth wife in this picture. Alonzo Hayenton Russell. But here's the old, the school thing, the schoolhouse, and right next to it was the saloon. I gotta say, I felt like I want to get out of here. This is creepy. Because then there's, houses like that. And it's just like, creepy, right? And then here's the Grafton Cemetery. I just took pictures of that. And I was ready to get out of there. It was creepy AF. Okay? Creepy AF. If you tell people you rock climb in Zion in your spare time, you're swimming in it. I mean, you probably are. You probably are, for sure. Growing up on a ranch, I hate outside. Can you go at night? No. They have it blocked, or they close it up at night. But you have to go down this long road to get to this. And it was like, I don't like this. I kind of want to leave. But yeah. Doesn't that mean he's a polymonamous or whatever that word is? Polyamorous? I don't think so. I think he just, I don't know. It was weird though. Alonzo was frontier pimping, apparently. You need to take April to Gatlinburg and take her through Cades Cove. She can thank me later. Gatlinburg. Where is, I've heard of that. Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Maybe we drove through it at one point. And I'm talking about me and Billy and Jay. Because April and I have never been to Tennessee together. We've been, I think she's been there a time. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I just saw the signs. Okay. I'm gonna make a note. I'll make it on here. Gatlinburg. Cades. So she would like that apparently. She loves this stuff. I mean, she was like getting excited, and I'm like, I want to get out of here. It's creepy. It's creepy as hell to me. And then this next one was the next morning. Oh, I didn't talk about what I ate. Let's see let's see. In the Grand Canyon, all we did is we ate at Wendy's and the diner because that was all that was kind of available. But that night after Zion, we went to this place called Balcony One in Virgin, Utah. Insanely good. And I'm guessing family run, but it was kind of a little bit of everything, steaks and pastas and all kinds of stuff. I actually have a picture of what I got, and it was a like a sausage parpadella thing. Where is it? There it is. It was insanely good. Insanely good. Oh, it wasn't sausage. It was like pulled pork. Dude. Dude. Eric's book strategically placed in the background? Yeah. That's right. That's right. Valley? What are you talking about? I'm not sure. But this place, I don't know if I took pictures here, so I don't remember the name of it. Yeah, I didn't take pictures at this place. So this was another ghost town, but there were people there. So there was some interesting stuff. It was just an old town. Yeah, I mean, some cool old buildings. Like, I think that was a hotel, I think, at some point. The Opera House. But see, like, there's people there, and it just, it's not the same. How do you know where there were people? Because, no. They were definitely, I mean, I'm pretty sure there were people. But this was cool. This was called Boot Hill Cemetery. And this was right along the lines of this used to be a mining town. And so a lot of these people were either killed in the, like, the people that were killed at the beginning, like when the town was first founded, but you can barely read some of these. Let's see. Feared by some, respected by few, detested by others, shot in back 5 times from ambush. Morgan Courtney. So 1875. Let's see. John Bass shot by officer 5 times. Why is it always 5 times? Not sure. This Harry Gorman was just killed by George Hirsch. So anyway, it was kind of neat, but I like that picture, this picture here, where you can still see the mining. Those are mining cart things, lines, and it was neat. It was a neat area. So yeah. Now wait a minute. Do I have? Boot Hill. Oh, you know that one. Okay. Shout out to 8-Bit Eric. Yeah, exactly. That's him. That's him there. And of course, you can see that. That's new. Well, we decided to go on the extraterrestrial highway and, check out Area 51 a little bit and see what we could find. We found that. But yeah, that's goofy. But we're going on the extraterrestrial highway, okay? And we're literally in the middle of the desert where it looks like this. Now, if you look at that, yeah, there's not a lot there. A car passes you maybe every 3-4 minutes. That's where you parked? But this road Look at this road. It's so flat and boring. It looks like it's going up. But you're basically coming down through the mountains and then just driving for hours, it feels like. It felt like a very long time. And I'm just going to say, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything. Maybe. But the reason we were going this way is because we wanted to go to the little alien. So we went there. UFO stuck in a dirt pile. Exactly. That's what it was. And yeah, it was something. I didn't take any pictures inside because they said on the thing, it said, no photography or whatever. But I've seen pictures, a ton of pictures online of the inside of this place. It looks like, I don't know. You didn't say anything, maybe? I'll show you. Hold on a second. Let's see. Little. Yeah, so this is what the inside looks like. It's just a bunch of goofy. Oh, and there's dollars hung up on the ceiling. That's what this place looks like. It's like a little diner place. Oh, yeah, we didn't actually get to that. Oh, we did see, actually, that's kind of funny. We did see this rock on the way out there. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Now, what was cool was that there were pictures on the wall of Stephen Greer, Stanton Friedman, and Bob Lazar. So they've all been out there, and that was kind of neat to see. But again, really goofy, man. It was a goofy little place, and it was fun. But here's the thing. We were on the way out there. And we're about at least an hour away from anything. And the check engine light comes on in the Cadillac. Now remember, we've put on, at this point, probably about 2,000 miles on this car in the desert. And it's starting to run a little weird. Like going from 0 to, to 40. Really rough. But there's nothing we can do because we're in the middle of freaking nowhere. And there's no signal. So we're just like, I guess let's just see if it'll make it to Little Alien. So we did. And we got there. And we did the thing. We looked around. Had a good time. Oh, and this was kind of neat. There's an ID4 Independence Day plaque or thing here. And if you read this, it's time capsule. On the 18th day of April 80, 1996, 20th Century Fox hereby dedicates this time capsule and beacon for visitors from distant stars to the state of Nevada and the extraterrestrial highway. This time capsule will serve as a beacon to be opened in the year 2050, by which time interplanetary travelers shall be regular guests of our planet Earth. Governor Bob Miller of the state of Nevada, 20th Century Fox Film Corporation, the filmmakers and cast of Independence Day. I just thought that was kind of neat. But this, like I said, this place is kind of like, it's one of those places that if you're into aliens, you know about this place, And there's a picture online somewhere of Scully from X-Files standing in front of this sign. And I tried, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it again. So I just said, screw it. Just take a picture of me standing in front of it and looking off to the... So there you go. We did that. And I forgot to show you what I ate. The last thing we ate in Arizona was at a place called La Fonda Grill, and Mexican food. It looked amazing. It tasted weird. It tasted. Here's the thing: there's Mexican food and there's Tex-Mex. That was Mexican food. Tex-Mex has more fat and more spice and more, just overall more flavor. This tasted very clean, but it was also kind of, I'm just going to say it, a little boring. Just a little boring. So if you come to Texas, which makes me wonder, like Leon was having a problem with the Tex-Mex here. I'm wondering if he had Mexican food, like straight up Mexican food, if it wouldn't treat his stomach like a playground. You know? Would he be able to eat regular Mexican food and he just can't eat Tex? I don't know. But let's go back a second. I said that I didn't see anything. Well, let me find the picture. Okay, that's Roswell. That's the crater. April decides she's going to drive back. Okay? And on the way back, where there's nothing, I see that. And I'm like, what is that? Like, what the heck is that? And I took a flat picture and I'm like, what is that shining? Like, I don't know what that is. That's kind of weird. Just in the middle of freaking nowhere, right? Well, it's a freaking it's just a truck. But April said maybe it's an evil government truck. And I'm like, I like the way you think. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, every day of our trip, I pulled out uh a different movie quote. But yeah, anyway. I know I don't like Mexican food and my dad's from Mexico. There you go. So, how long did it take you to read the Wheel of Time books? Over a year, but I was also reading books in between those books. So it wasn't like I was just reading those 15 books. It was like, read this from another series, then this from another series. I went back to Tolkien. I went to other things. I read the Gentleman Bastards movies, books. I read the First Law trilogy in there. So it's been a while, but yeah, it did take me a while, but it was awesome. I love the way it ended, and yeah. So there you go. But if you remember, on the way out there, check engine light came on. So we start making our way back, and I said to April, do you think I should just call Enterprise and figure out what they want us to do? Because suddenly it started running better. So we thought, okay, well, maybe, maybe just like a misfire on a spark plug or something like that. And it just made it run strange for a bit, but it was running fine. So we call them up and they say, hey, why don't you pull over and we'll come get you? And we're like, we're not pulling over in the middle of the freaking desert. Are you crazy? Now we had waters, we had snacks. We would have been fine if the car had just stopped. But we didn't want to stop. This is our vacation. And they said, okay, we'll just drive it into Vegas and we'll swap you out. We'll swap you out with a different car. And we're like, okay, so can you call around for us and find us a place that we can go? And they're like, yeah, let me put you on hold. So they put us on hold. And you know, the car makes it just fine. And they look at the car and they go, yeah, it looks fine, but it's also like 1,000 miles over its oil change. Like it needs an oil change. And we're like, why did Enterprise give us a freaking car that needed an oil change in roughly 1,000 miles when they knew we were going to go at least 2,000 miles? Kind of weird. Anyway, this is the car we ended up with. Now, again, a Cadillac XT5 is a mid-size SUV. This is very compact. Very compact. And I'm pretty sure there were hamsters in the engine compartment. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to talk bad about any car, really, because there are people that buy cars simply to get from point A to point B. They don't care about all the other stuff, the extra stuff. They want a budget car and all that stuff. And you know what? For a budget car, it ended up not being so bad. But when you go from an XT5 with wheels that were huge, like 28-inch wheels or something like that, to wheels that looked like this big. They looked so tiny. Wait, hold on. I'll show you. So an XT5, taller than me, right? This is that car. What the hell? From a V6 to definitely a 4-cylinder. And I said, and it had a sport mode. And I said, I bet the sport mode is they just inject the hamsters with like a Red Bull or something. So it was, look, beggars can't be choosers, right? We did get a little bit off of the price of what we did or whatever, but we knew that this is Friday, right? This is Friday afternoon. We're not gonna be around doing anything crazy. We're literally gonna drive out to the Hoover Dam and then come back to Vegas, pretty much. That's really it. So we don't need it. How much did they discount you for the downgrade? Leon? Wait, Leon's here? I've had bigger poops than that car. I know it. I feel like I could just put it in my luggage. But yeah, as long as the level was fine, then the oil would be fine, especially since it's only highway miles. True, but it was running rough. And then when I saw that the engine light was on, it kind of scared me a little bit. But we made it, and we got this car. So, there you go. Maybe they knew you liked Tolkien's work and gave you the Hobbit option. Apparently. But we laughed over and repeatedly. It was like she was still having her reactions, right? And I said, I think your reactions are looking better. And she goes, oh, okay. I didn't think you could see them. And I said, well, you're really close to me now. I mean, this car was tiny. But you know what? It had CarPlay. It had a great, what do you call it? Air conditioning. The air conditioning worked great. Everything was fine. It was just a little slow. You know, it was probably 0 to 60 in 1.6 years or something. But, you know, hey, it got us where we needed to go. And that's what's important. Went from Heisenberg's Chrysler M200 to Jesse's red car. I mean, it's tiny. But seriously, we went outside and started laughing. And the guy's like, well, at least you have a sense of humor about it. And we're just like, this is so ridiculous to go from, because you can see 2 cars down, that's the XT5. It was so tiny. So tiny. But anyway, we went to another ghost town, and it's around the El Dorado mine. And this place was awesome. I loved the signs out here. Uh, Must read new rules. Everyone must now check in at the store first. This is not Disneyland, a theme park, or a playground. Due to the abundance of stupid people, you can no longer just walk around here. This is now a fee area. Parents, stray children, and teenagers will be shot on sight. If we are open, check in at the store first. If we are closed or after dark, don't stop, go away. And then there's their number. There's tours, there's photo shoots. You can do weddings out there. This place is cool. It's more like, yeah, the historical El Dorado Canyon. It's like somebody's, you know how like sometimes you drive past places and they just have stuff in their yard? That's what this was like, but it was some of the coolest stuff. Should have renewed our vows here. I think April was sick of me at this point. Now, this is Friday night, right? We were coming back Saturday. But yeah, so there's the mine. You can see the old mine, but look at all those old cars and things. And then you go inside, and it's like, I mean, this place was just neat. And the guy behind the counter, he said, okay, here's the deal. Tickets, if you're going to spend more than 15 minutes here, I need $1 from each of you. We're like, $1? We gave him $5. And he's like, hey, you guys like aliens? And I'm like, yeah. He brings out 2 jars, like with formaldehyde, aliens in them. And it was kind of goofy. And he goes, oh, and look into that room. And that's what that was in that room. I'm telling you, this place was kind of crazy. But it was gorgeous. I mean, it's just cool. A cool area. And you walk around and see all these different cars. And I mean, look at all the old cars, the old houses. And of course, you know, apparently they had people stay out there with them, but because somebody was an idiot. But I mean, like, look at that old Coke cooler. And like, I don't know. Places like this are just kind of neat to me. But I didn't feel creeped out here. This was pretty cool. Like old wagons. I mean, look at that. It's just a neat area. But I'll tell you, man, Arizona and Vegas, because this was outside of Vegas, right? The sun is different, man. It is just, it's like it's right here, and it's just so freaking hot. So I was having to stay out of the sun as much as possible. I wore that jacket with the hood, you know, most of the time. But look at this. So these are big trucks, but with like buses on top. Like what? And none of it looks like it works, but it's just cool. So that's 2 buses, but one is a trailer with like with a Beetle roof on top to make the roof higher. Like, what is this place? There's another school bus with additions to it. Like, I don't. And then, oh yeah, of course, there's an old plane out here. I think it's the T6 Texan. But yeah, just a cool area. And we just spent 30 minutes out there walking around taking pictures. This is like an old delivery truck. It's just cool looking. I don't know, man. I just thought it was cool. I mean, the amount of old cars out there was ridiculous. And old buses and stuff. It was neat. Very, very neat. So, we drove into Vegas. And this is the hotel we stayed at. The MGM Signature, or the Signature at MGM. Seriously, the nicest hotel room I've ever been in my life. And the reason that we got this is because we were only 2 weeks away from when we were going to go. And this one was just as, like, almost as cheap as everything else. This April wanted to stay on the strip, so we stayed on the strip. But what was cool was from ground level, you could see the Sphere. And the Sphere is like a new concert venue, right? This is the same picture, but with the iPhone, it shows. Let me see if I can do this. Do that. Let me do loop. Let me see if that'll play. Yeah, so that's basically a big screen on the outside. Can you see the movement? I was hoping it would. That's weird. My camera is not allowing it to. Maybe if I turn it down a little bit. Hold on. Come on. Zoom in. Yeah, you can kind of see it. Those are jellyfish on the outside. So it's moving on the outside, but it's also a concert venue. And there were pictures that I saw on like Instagram, U2 concert. And the whole thing is just, it's like you're in a crazy arena. Dude, I want to go there. I want to go there and see a concert there. But this was the view from our hotel room. Yeah. Pretty nice. But then we actually walked around Vegas. Hold on, it's still, for whatever reason, it's like downloading them or something, or loading them. I gotta say, man, I never want to go to Vegas again. Ever. I thought that picture was kind of cool because it was, you can see the hotel going up, the tree, and then the moon there. I just thought that was kind of a neat picture. But I don't want to ever go to Vegas again. You are assaulted with every sort of thing that I mean, seriously, like the visuals. It's so bright. There's bright shit everywhere, right? The sound. There's people busking, right? There's people playing loud ass music and, singing and stuff all along the strip. The smell. It smelled like a mixture of body odor and cannabis and sewage and daddy issues and just regret. It was horrible. It was a horrible thing. And there were women walking around with okay, so I'd been to Vegas before, right? And they do the whole, right? They have their little thing, right? And they're handing out the little flyers with call the escort girls from blah blah blah, right? There were women walking around with just pasties on. And of course, April's like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember this. It's almost like they said, oh, we've heard of this thing called the internet where you can just get porn anytime you want. Well, we got to step it up here. I haven't been to Vegas since 2013. It was terrible. But it was like I said, it was just an assault on the senses. And then on top of that, apparently Vegas has said, hey, you know how IKEA is really hard to get around and you're constantly getting lost and turned around? Let's do that here. Because they've closed off the sidewalks. So you can't just walk down the strip and go into a hotel here, go into a casino here. You can't do that anymore. You have to walk up the thing, go across the street, and then walk across another one, and then go down, and then make it across the street. It was so freaking annoying. So annoying. I will say this, okay? I'm not a prude, okay? But it was disgusting. And I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm into the female form, Sure. I I'll say it. I like titties. I like seeing girls' ass and legs, and sure. But these were trashy people. This was not like, this was not attractive. This was disgusting. I don't understand it. It's so different than what it was before. And again, it wasn't just that. It was how loud everything was. Again, you couldn't walk 5 feet without another person singing into something with their little pots out or whatever, and then people going, it's stopping you and going, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Get off, none of your business what I'm doing tomorrow. Well, we've got tours and I'm not doing a tour. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. So get out of my way. It was awful. It was seriously awful. And I just wanted, like, basically 10 minutes into the walk, I was like, I want to go back. I want to go back to the hotel where it's quiet and I don't have to look at trashy women, scantily clad, trashy women. I will say this, though. There's another reason to go to Zion National Park. There was a lot of good looking women there wearing yoga pants. And it was distracting. I'll just say it's distracting. Okay? So if you want that, I get that. Zion was the best. The view was great. And some of the other views were great. Vegas, that is not my kind of town. And then I'm also 47 years old and sober with my wife that I've been married to for 23 years. Not exactly the kind of place for us. You know what I mean? So, you know what we did? We walked from this. If you can look at a map of Vegas and you can see what we did. We went from the MGM Grand Signature. We walked around to get onto the Strip. We walked the Strip to get to the Venetian. Okay? And the Venetian, the reason we went there is, guess what's there? Give you one guess. Screw it. We don't have time for that. They had an old vintage bookstore in the Venetian shops. And the Venetian's awesome. I mean, I showed you that this is the Venetian. It's gorgeous in there. One of my favorite hotels. And you know, the ceiling is painted over with the clouds. It's awesome, okay? But they had an old vintage bookstore there. And man, did they have some freaking vintage books. I mean, some of them were, you know, $4,000, $5,000. It was crazy. No Tolkien stuff, but really, really cool. And then we walked out of there and went, what now? Because we were hungry. It was dinner time. Guess where? I'm not even going to say guess where we ended up. I'm just going to tell you. We went to Denny's on the Strip. And you know what? It was awesome. It was great. The food was great. The atmosphere was great until they started playing music, like really loud music, about 10 minutes before we were done. But yeah, that was it. That was it. And we went, and then we came out of Denny's where there's a homeless dude looking at his crotch, which was awkward. We walked into Harrah's and went on the monorail and rode the monorail to the MGM so we could completely skip the Strip. And that's what we did. We went back to the hotel at like 9:30 at night on a Friday night and went to bed. It was awesome. So there you go. Okay, wait a minute. Let me go back here. Sorry, I went off on Vegas. But I'll just say Vegas is just not for me anymore. I seriously have not felt so old as walking on the Strip at Vegas at 47 years old going, I hate everything about this. I hate it. And Oscar's here. I didn't even see Oscar. Welcome, Oscar. But yeah, it was Does the $1 also give you a complimentary tetanus shot? Because damn. Well, true, but we didn't touch anything. So it was cool though. It was a really cool place. The Sphere building was, man, I seriously want to see a concert there. I seriously do. It was awesome. The inside and outside have screens all over the walls. Yes. Adam Scott from Severance and Step Brothers was on his podcast recently talking about seeing U2 inside that Sphere. Yeah. In fact, we rode down the elevator because we were in the suites at the Signature. And both April and I are wearing t-shirts and jeans, you know, it's like, and these people are wearing, like, going out like they're going out, you know what I mean? And we're like, we're just going to walk the strip. But they were all like, yeah, we saw U2 the other night at the Sphere, and Eddie Vedder was in the audience, and Bono like did a call out or whatever. And I'm sitting there the whole time they're talking. I'm going, I hate these people. These are not my kind of people. You know what I mean? And April was like, I thought they were nice. I'm like, you don't like people either. But those people, there was not a true statement that came out of their mouths. Like they just, or what do you call it? They're just fake people, you know? And it's just like, ugh. Anyway. Didn't your wife like the escorts? No threesome. James, we're 47 and we've been married for 23 years. Not the kind of thing that you introduce 23 years into your marriage, okay? Thanks for not saving me a flyer. Again, it's the kind of stuff where you're like, yeah, it's everywhere. And it's not sexy. Like, at least not to me. It's not to me. It just wasn't sexy at all. No photos. And Squiggles, how's it going, man? Well, okay. You can tell a lot by legs. There you go. Public nudity is never ever done by attractive people. Very true. Never go to the red light district in Tijuana or Bangkok then. Well, no. No, I wouldn't. But no, I didn't go back to the book and read. I went back to the hotel after we ate and went to sleep. It was great. Vegas is for the bachelors and bachelorettes. Yep. There were so many like girls. I say girls. They probably were women. But they were just so drunk and they were telling stories. It was just like, God, man. The vintage bookstore featured on Pawn Stars. Oh, okay. Cool. It was cool. Did you see that Toy Story there? That one the toy store that Jay and Billy went to years ago? No. We didn't go to a toy store. You just explained why I usually don't do Retropalooza after hours. I'm too old for the crazy. Exactly. It's just not my thing anymore. It's not my scene. It never was my scene. I mean, I guess I'm just extremely uncool, but that's just not my thing, you know? It's just not. Sexy by default. And Rachel, welcome. How was your anniversary? Well, we're talking about the trip we took. It's kind of awesome. In fact, if you want to see a really cool video, Zion National Park, watch the beginning of the stream. Just saying, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But yeah, the next day, so Saturday, we're flying out at like, I think we have to be at the hotel at like, at the airport at like 12:30. So we said, let's go see Hoover Dam. We didn't get to see it yesterday because it was too late. Let's go see it. On the way out there, this is just freaking cool. It's just the solar panels, and there's so many of them. And I just thought it made a cool little video. So there you go. I don't know how long it is. Oh, that's like freaking loud, isn't it? Sorry. That was probably really freaking loud. What was it? Was it, is this the one that had, Michael Jackson something? I think we just had it on Apple Music or whatever, the radio. Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. And then let's see. Hoover Dam, right? So here's the bridge. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Hopefully it was I meant to mute that video before I put it up here, but hey. It may get it claimed at the end, but hey, we'll deal with it then. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah. Big bridge. And then there it is. So if you're keeping track, I got Contact, I got Starman, and now I have Superman the movie. 3 places. And this is a shot of I believe the area where Superman saves somebody from getting electrocuted or something, and he goes, "Is that man all right?" And that guy goes, "Yeah, yeah." So it's really cool. Um, it was really cool looking. Um, but again, we'd seen so much at this point that it was kind of like, okay. And that's a view from the, I guess, the front of the dam there to the bridge, which was neat. It was neat. But yeah, pretty cool. Your subwoofer was rumbling in the room. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Hopefully it doesn't get claimed. I don't know what song it was. I don't know. I think it was Michael Jackson though. I am your damn tour guide. Ask all the damn questions you'd like. Exactly. There was a lot of damn jokes. You are not alone. That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. You are not alone. Anyway, it's a thing. But then the final thing that I have to show you was Takeoff. And Takeoff is cool. And hopefully there's no. Okay, I did mute this one. But just watch this Takeoff. It's so cool because you get to see all of Vegas, like all of the big hotels. And the final thing you see before the plane banks, you see the sphere in the bottom part of the video there. So at first I was like, dude, are you gonna actually punch it? Dude, punch it. Let's go. Oh, wait a minute. Is this the right video? I think it is. Hold on. Yeah, because then he punches it right here. I love to fly. I really do. I want all of the flights. Do a barrel roll. It's really cool to see Vegas like this, you know? So there's the Luxor. New York hotel right there. And then there's the MGM. And those 3 buildings right there in the front there, those are the signature hotels that we stayed in. And then you can just see the sphere coming in at the very bottom of the screen right there. You can see it at the bottom of the screen there, and then you get a good look at it, and then he turns. There's U2. And that's it. So there you go. That's pretty cool. Fake ass New York City. Well, I mean, of course, but it's cool. Surprised it wasn't Bon Jovi. Oh, I'll tell you this. If Bon Jovi comes on, I'm hitting skip or changing the channel. I'm just done with Bon Jovi, man. I'm just done with him. So yeah. Unmute it to give Ricky subwoofers the airplane experience. No, it's really loud. Rob hates Vegas except when he sees it falling behind him outside the window of a jet that's carrying him away from there. Yes. And yeah, it was an awesome trip. I mean, okay, 2,350 miles is what we put on those cars. Total. 2,350 miles over an 8-day period. I did multiple miles per day walking and hiking. A lot of it was hiking. It was insane. His vocal cords are done with him too. Yeah, I need to get some water. So, how much Def Leppard did April let you listen to in the car on this trip? I don't think we listened to Def Leppard at all. I mean, other than if it came on. I know it came on a couple of times during when I was hitting the 80s and 90s playlists on Apple Music when I was driving. But yeah, we both drove quite a bit. I drove for hours and hours. Oh, John Bon Jovi's vocal cords are done with him too. I gotcha. Yes. I'm just... I was a fan. But then I heard Living on a Prayer 75 times a day. And I'm like, I'm done. I don't ever need to hear a Bon Jovi song again. Wanted Dead or Alive, I'm done. Bad Medicine, done. You name the Bon Jovi song, I've heard it too much. So, yeah. So, here's the deal. I have got to use the restroom and I've got to get some water because I am parched. So, yeah. I've only got a couple of different news items to share with you. But if anybody has anything they want to talk about, hey, think about it and let me know because I'm going to go use the restroom and stuff. Working in retail with music ruined songs. Yes. Edge of a Broken Heart is the only one left for me. I don't remember that song. So maybe I haven't heard them all, but yeah, no more Bon Jovi for me. Anyway, I'll be right back. And let's see, hold on. Where's that picture? That really good picture of us. There we go. Oops. You don't want to watch that again. There it is. So, April and I, 23 years. 23 years with this amazing woman. It's great stuff. So, I'll be right back. And, if you guys want to talk about anything, let's talk about it. Because we've got a little time before it's time to call it a night. So, okay, be right back. Yeah, it's good. Water's good. So 73% do believe that aliens exist. 15% says not enough evidence either way. And 11% says nope. Interesting. Hmm. Oh, Rachel, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, she's amazing. And Wraith, I will say that yes, she might want to do that, but it depends. Depends on if she's man, she works hard. So there are going to be times when, like during Retropalooza this year, she worked all weekend. She didn't have time to go out there. She worked all weekend. It's what happens when you work for one of the largest banks in the country. It just happens that way. But anyway, so what else is going on, guys? What else is going on? I mean, there's been some movie stuff. Unfortunately, the creator didn't do too well at the box office, and it's all because you guys didn't go watch it. No, I think there's a lot of problems with the way that they marketed it. I think the title is bad. Um, but man, what a great! I really enjoyed that one. If she can't, then I'll get a doggy bag. Then we need a better name for that. Yes, for sure, for sure. But no, I mean, yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. I hate when I get to go see a movie that I really enjoyed, like on almost every level, even though the story sounds it's very samey with some things. Even some of the things that happen are kind of like, yeah, I kind of saw that coming. I just think that it's so creative that I want to see more. So it might have done better for streaming services. Well, I'm sure it will do fine. It'll probably go on Hulu, and it'll be probably an exclusive unless one of the other streaming services ponies up some dough for it. But it'll do fine. It's just, man, damn, you know, I wanted that movie to just rock, and make a bunch of money so that Gareth Edwards can make more movies because I'm a fan now. So there you go. Not seen the creator yet. Did watch that No One Can Save You, which I thought started strong but got steadily worse and worse as it went on. What was number one this past weekend? I'm not actually sure. I just know that the creator was in third place that first weekend, behind Paw Patrol and Saw X. So, yeah, that's a bummer. Paw Patrol. So, PM'd you that Bon Jovi hotness. Oh, you did? Okay, well, I guess I'll listen to it. It might be a song that I like. I'll go, oh yeah, that song. But don't be dissing Paw Patrol. Hey, hey, I can diss whatever I want. Uh, Killers of the Flower Moon release date. Why is this taking so October 20th? Holy crap, that's 10 days away. I need to get some tickets. Because I'm gonna go see that in the theater for sure. For sure. Because I mean, the thing is I've gotten to the point now where, man, I don't care about a lot of the big blockbuster type movies, I just don't. Paw and D's nuts. Nuts. D's nuts. But October 20th, man. So 10 days from now, Killers of the Flower Moon will come out. And Mandolin, Leon, that we worked with, she did some props for that movie because it was shot in Oklahoma. So just a couple hours away. Exorcist Believer was number one. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. A new horror movie comes out. Yes, I get it, but Oh, and I saw a. I mean, look, I get that people love their horror movies, okay, but when a major site does a poll of the best horror movies in the last 2 years, and Barbarian wins, doesn't say a whole lot about the horror movie genre to someone like me, because I thought Barbarian was very meh. It was fine. It's fine. So I don't know. She just went to New Zealand, took some pics in Hobbitland. She's coming to the UK next year. Oh, that's awesome. The Killer out October 27th. Okay. So 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row I'll be going to the theater, and we'll be getting some reviews done. And the thing is like I said earlier, it's just that I want to write more. And I think by writing more, I'll get better at it, cuz I want to get good at it. So, yeah. 2 members of the crew of the movie will have been to see me, and you, none. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. I know I need to get to England for sure. I prefer Exorcist 3 over the original. Want to fight about it? I mean, no, cuz I haven't seen the third one. I've heard the third one's really good. Directed by the writer of the first book, right? Rob, before taking on a novel, start with. Sorry, I got little Sean Connery there. Start with short stories, 3 to 5,000 words. Trust me. Oh, trust. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Um, I just want to write. Period. So I have an idea for a maybe a pilot script, and then I have some ideas for which. Okay, so I have the beginnings of an idea that I need to chase it down. You know what I mean? I need to work on it and craft it and get an outline so that I can start writing, because I want to write another screenplay that has nothing to do with anything else we've done. I want to do something different, and it's not going to be limited by budget either. So, yeah, but who wants to write periods? I do. I want to write periods a lot. I want to write a lot of periods. Maybe a comma here and there, semicolon. But yeah, little dashes. But yeah, I just I want to write, because I think I have. I'll say this: Billy and Jay and John Michael, they gave me and of course Seventh too. I mean, talking to Seventh was something else too. But just, I think I have a talent for dialogue, writing dialogue. So I want to try some things. Write a horror movie, take it to Blumhouse. If it can be made for under $1 million, they will probably make it. I have an idea that could be. I need to do some research, but it's kind of a horror movie, and I'm not a horror movie fan. So it's a horror movie written by somebody who's not a fan of the genre. It could be, but I think it's an interesting idea, and I really like it. So I kind of want to see what happens. And it might be one of those things where, you know, like the way that Stephen King writes. And I know a lot of people don't like Stephen King, but a lot of times what he'll do is he'll just start writing. He'll get an idea, he'll start writing and see where it takes him. And if it doesn't take him anywhere interesting, he'll wrap it up and make it a short story. So that's why he puts out so many, every few years he puts out a short story collection. But if an idea really grabs him and it has legs, then he'll make it a novel. And that's what I just want to write more because I think I'm not bad. I'm not bad at it. So I just want to try it. I want to try it again. Ito Ramos, welcome. Good to see you. I'm probably gonna go say hi to Leon before Rob does. Well, I mean, and yeah, I've got Stephen King book. Oh, you've got a fit Wraith, yes, because you picked up on writing. I basically made you buy it and say, yeah, you need to buy this, and if you don't buy it, I am gonna buy it. So, yeah. Heavy rumor is Universal will buy Warner Brothers in the next few years. Do you think that's a good thing? If so, what would be the benefits? What makes you say that? Universal isn't doing as well as Warner Brothers is. Warner Brothers has definitely had its ups and downs, but Warner Brothers just had Barbie. So, I mean, we'll see. Wraith, we will go back for Retropalooza next year. Ooh, nice. Good. Good. Resident Evil, the first video game, is directed by a guy who couldn't stand horror. There you go. A horror movie that's not a horror movie written by someone who doesn't like horror, that's not Blumhouse, that's A24. No, this is definitely, the idea is definitely a horror kind of movie or horror kind of story. It's just because I'm not a huge, and see, here's the thing. It's not that I don't like horror movies, because there's plenty of horror movies that I really like. It's horror movies without any soul. And there's so many of them. And there's so many of them that just feel like, I mean, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. The kind of horror movie, I don't like slasher movies because there's not a whole lot you can do with it. But good horror movies, I like those. So, yeah. Yeah. Before you take on short stories, Rob, write at least 5 haikus. And before you take on haikus, write at least 8 limericks. A20 Bucho, hey. I'm just gonna do some writing and see what happens. But I'm gonna spend a lot more time, basically spend a lot more time in here writing rather than setting up game systems and farting around with other stuff that just doesn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? I've been wasting a lot of my time, I think. So it's time to really try. You know, put a lot of energy into it and just see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but I want to try it. Love me some Resident Evil Mila. It's more about the shock factor than pure terror. Yeah, and it's also based on ideas that are very heavily used. Very familiar territory, you know? I like real life horror movies. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe. I dislike scary movies. Mom used to make me and bro watch it at the age of 4? Does it say 4? Holy crap. Horror, good horror, is about the vibe. You can say the heroine is in a dark room with something creepy, but you have to make the reader feel the dark, hear nails scratching on the walls, etc. Yeah, dude. Okay, 4 is way too young for that. But yes, 7th, exactly. But it's the things that you don't see that are usually scarier than the things that you do. And every now and then, there's a really, really great horror movie. But most of them that come out, like, I really liked the first 2 Conjuring movies. I liked both of those. I really, really liked those. But then it gets crazy and it gets goofy, and I don't like goofy or just I screw that. I don't like that. So I don't know. I like it when I like it when you get the weird, the chills on the back of your, on your arms, and your hair stand up in the back of your neck. That's the kind of stuff. I want stuff that's really creepy. Insidious, I don't know if I've seen that. I think I have, but a lot of those names are just, man, they're all the same as well. And they just all run together for me. So, yeah. High Tension. That sounds familiar too. Like I've seen that, but I don't know. I might not have. Skin and Marink will cure your insomnia. I haven't had any sleeping problems. I will say the first day, I couldn't sleep the night before Amarillo when we were leaving. Couldn't sleep. And then I slept like a baby the rest of the time. And I've been sleeping like a baby ever since. In fact, I'm having trouble staying awake right now. I'm kind of sleepy. But movies about ghosts and spirits and demons and monsters aren't scary. Sometimes they can be. Movies about being left at sea after your scuba diving instructor forgets to do a proper head count of your diva party. Now that is scary. Well, I like movies that I don't know. I I don't know. I like a good ghost story, but it's got to be a good ghost story. And I like the ones where there's like one of my favorite ones. It's just a little short story, and it was about a guy with his a guy who visits his friend in Europe somewhere, and it's in a castle, and he and I don't remember. I wish I could remember more of the story, but I remember the book that I read it in. But it was a story about him staying in this hotel, and it's a haunted hotel. It's a or castle, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll stay in there. It's no problem." And he's like, "Are you sure? Because I've heard, there's a ghost that comes out, and and people have died, had their throat slit or whatever." And he he stays in the hotel, and he's supposed to stay there for like a week or something. And he keeps hearing noises, and he keeps, experiencing things. And then finally he sees I can't remember what the name of it is, but sees the woman with the knife, the bloody knife, and she's like all ethereal looking, and he's freaking out, and he runs out and leaves and whatever. And then it's like a year later, he comes and visits his friend again, and he looks deathly ill, like the last year has taken all the life out of him, and he's it scared him so bad that it just really affected him. And he's like, okay, well, look, here's the deal. His friend tells him, I gotta tell you, that was my sister. Yeah, I paid her to basically mess with you. It was just supposed to be a joke. You're taking all of this shit too seriously and whatever. And the guy ends up, the guy that is, experienced all this, rushes across the table and slits the guy's throat. And that's the end of the story. And it's like, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's a great story. Why not tell that one something like that, where it's a ghost story. It's spooky and all that stuff, but it's also, it's grounded in real life. And there's I don't know. I like that. Insidious has opening credits that will set off that lizard brain response. Okay. Okay. I'm putting it on the list. Where's my list? Where's my list? Oh, things. Uh okay. All right. Conjuring 2 is still the only horror movie I've ever worked on. Was interesting. I really enjoyed that movie. I liked that a lot. People praised Insidious and kept telling me to watch it, and it's not for me. I was bored, but glad others like it. That one is my fave of all of them. The old man was creepy. Yeah. I just watched the older movie about the bypass falling on top of cars during earthquake in Oakland. That is scary. Or the one about the cabin of the airplane ripping off. Eee. What's weird is I love The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe, and people say that's boring. Why did you yell an obscenity, Rachel? But no, I like The Woman in Black. I thought it was pretty good. I thought Sinister was an interesting enough horror movie. Do I like B horror movies? See, that's where I no. The thing is it's kind of like I like a really well told story. I don't care what genre it's in. My story? Oh, yeah. I mean that's a I mean could be. I'd have to change some things, but yes. Yes, Rachel, maybe. But B horror movies, it's just not my thing. I mean, you can look. You want to see my response to some of these movies? Go watch the Game Chasers, and watch when we do reviews of these movies. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be like, in a lot of it. Okay, it's just not for me. IMAX movies on this new OLED is amazing. What other IMAX movies do you recommend? Um, I mean, a lot of Christopher Nolan stuff that's shot in IMAX looks great on an OLED. Um, anything Ridley. Ridley movies look great. I bet Master and Commander look good. Um, shit, a lot of the on Disney Plus, a lot of the Marvel movies that are IMAX enhanced, those are really good. I mean, they look amazing. So I like the Blumhouse stuff as it's more fun horror. Babysitter 1 and 2, Freaky, Happy Death Day, Final Girls. Yeah, I haven't seen any of those. Watch your profanity. Insidious was done by the same folks as Conjuring 1 and 2. They're all about the stuff in the background, out of focus. Plays on the corner of your eye vibe a lot. I like that. Dude, what was that one? Lake Mungo. Lake Mungo? Is that what it's called? I enjoyed that one. Yeah, Lake Mungo. I actually really liked that movie. I enjoyed it. Australian psychological horror film written and directed by Joel Anderson, starring. I mean, I like that one a lot. Black Phone was good. Yes. We all know the greatest is Sharks of the Corn. My story is a survivor badass story. What story? Survivor badass story. I'm not sure what you mean. My favorite found footage is the talking. The talking. She just sits there and talks. Deborah Logan just sitting there chatting. She's just chatting away. The Taking of Deborah Logan. I don't think I've seen that one. Got a roll, gang. Hope to catch you again soon. Rock on, Robbie. Bucho. Thank you. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for that wonderful comment on that Ahsoka video. I mean, it basically summed up like exactly what I thought. And it's like, man, damn it. Bucho once again just sums it up better than I can say it myself. You have a way of crafting a response, which is great. But look, let's get to the two news items. Did anybody see this? Michael Mann confirms Heat 2 is the next movie he's going to do and comments on the potential reteam with Adam Driver. Okay. I haven't read the book yet. But the book I got for $2.99 on Amazon. It was on sale. Pretty sweet. I didn't actually say or see anything about him actually. Let's see. Oh, he says, perhaps we don't talk about that yet. let me put it this way. Adam and I got along like a house on fire on Ferrari. We have the same work ethic, which is pretty intense. We like each other. We had a great time working together artistically. So he could work together with him. Okay. Well, I mean, that's basically nothing. That's like saying, oh, the director says that he of Fantastic Four has said that he's already cast it. Okay. That doesn't matter. None of it matters. A lot of the stuff that you see, I mean, and again, I guess I'm part of that, but a lot of the things that people talk about with movies, upcoming movies, it doesn't matter until it's announced. Uh Hope it's better than 65. I never that's the Jackie Robinson movie, right? With uh Bozeman, right? Anyway. Yeah. Heat 2 Electric Boogaloo. Well, I just know that I love Michael Mann. So, and he's getting up there in his years, and I'm kind of selfish. I want more from my favorite directors before they shuffle this mortal coil. Heat 2 even hotter. Yes. Oh. It's an Adam Driver sci-fi movie and it sucked tons of ass. Oh, then what's the Chadwick Boseman movie? Chadwick Boseman. Or is that 51? It's another number anyway. Uh oh, it's called 42. I should know that. Oh well. Favorite man film is Collateral. Is it in 4K? I don't think so because that was shot mostly on like digital. And I don't think at the time 4K was around. And 65, look, here's the thing. There's a lot of movies that really good actors get, I mean, contracted to do, and they just don't turn out. And that's fine. But you can't I'm one of those people that Adam Driver, and there's a lot of actors like this that, you know, every now and then will do a really crappy movie. You can't discount their acting ability because they're in one of these crappy movies, you know? He got a paycheck. He did his job. He went in and did the thing. And it's the writer, the editor, director. That's the problem. Can't really fault the actor on that. But you sent a voice message to explain. Okay. Okay. I'll listen to it. And Ito, earlier you said something about not reading and you've evolved past reading. Well, I'm quite a reader. I love to read. Reading is one of my favorite things to do, other than watching awesome movies. But anyway, I meant to go back to your comment and didn't. And I know you were kidding, but I'm a big reader. Uh Heat 2, A Chilling Breeze. 65 was rough. If I was watching it alone, I would have stopped. I love Adam, but dang, even he couldn't save that one. Yeah. I've heard it's really bad. And then Ito liked it. I mean, that's the man thong conundrum. 65 being a stinker didn't make me think any less of him. He's still awesome. Yeah, I mean, and there's just a lot of movies that actors end up doing and they suck, you know? Or, you know, you go in with an idea of what it's going to be, then you get there, you've already signed the contract, you're already doing the job, and then you realize this is going to be crap. This is not going to work out. And that's just the way sometimes it goes, you know? I mean, studio involvement or a lack of time to finish. I mean, there's just so many different ways. That's why when you see a movie that's like a 6 or 7 out of 10, Man, they're almost there. To get that good of a movie is like a miracle, you know? So that's why actors, that's why directors like Scorsese and Ridley Scott and Steven Spielberg and you know, Michael Mann, all of these directors, these amazing directors, Christopher Nolan, who continually make really, really good movie after really, really good movie. Not all of them work, but their batting average is pretty high. It's hard to be that good making a movie. It's just difficult for all of those different elements to come together to make a solid movie. It's tough to do. It's not easy. Otherwise, anybody would do it. Everybody would do it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that other than, those sixes and sevens, they're almost there. And sometimes it's one decision, made toward in the third act or whatever that can just destroy all of the credit that you got for the first two thirds. I mean, how many times has that happened to you? You're watching a movie and then you get to the finale and you're like, well, shit, that sucks. That's a dumb ending. Now we're almost there, How many, I mean, just completely forgotten. And there was somebody that worked on that movie that worked really, really hard. I don't know. That's when it's hard to be a critic sometimes, or to be, I don't know if I would call myself a critic, whatever, but to be critical of something, knowing how much work goes into it, it's tough. Good thing AEW was on tonight of all nights because I'm working 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. tomorrow. Stupid inventory. Wow. Okay, 7th. That was funny. I'm not going to read it because I don't want anybody to, But that was funny. I'm like that with any ending where everyone dies at the end. Ruins the movie for me. Well, it depends. It depends on how it's done. It's just like, it's, like Roger Ebert said, it's not what it's about, it's how it's about it. So a movie like The Exorcist, somebody says, hey, Rob, it's a horror movie. But you know what? The movie's damn good. That movie's really good. And stays with you. Man, what a movie that movie is. Ah, so good. I'm a weirdo. I usually like either super bad or great movies. See, it's weird. I'm and that's how Billy is. Billy loves that I'm just gonna call it schlock. He loves that stuff, and some of it's the super cheesy sci-fi stuff, from like the 50s. And I look at it and I go, I'd rather watch some other amazing movie that I know is out there that I haven't seen yet. So many classics, I'd rather spend my time watching that than watching, you know, Ed Wood movies. You know what I mean? I don't know. Horror movies? Speaking of schlock, anyone see the trailer for the Toxic Avenger remake? I have not seen that yet, but I saw a screenshot of Elijah Wood and he looks gross. So, but speaking of the, I would say that top 10%, those amazing directors. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cosma put this out on the Discord. Ridley Scott says he's working on a 4-hour director's cut of Napoleon to be released on Apple TV Plus. Love it. Love it. I'm excited for this. I mean, I know there's going to be some people that are like, eh. I'm excited. I'm excited. I love Ridley Scott. I like Joaquin Phoenix a lot. This is going to be interesting. So, and then we get the next Gladiator movie. That'll be weird without Ridley Scott or Joaquin Phoenix because, spoiler alert, they're both dead. They're characters. So, yeah. We need a sequel to The Good Son where Macaulay's character survived that fall and he comes after Elijah's character. I don't think I ever saw that movie. Elijah Wood was a cute kid, though, wasn't he? He's just a weird looking adult, but he was a cute kid. He was a really cute kid. Okay, Ricky, I'm worried about spoilers of something recent. I have chosen to not watch The Good Son. If I really wanted to see it, yeah, that was definitely. I should have watched it by now. So I don't really care if you spoil that. I know I know he died in it, and I know that he plays a bad kid or whatever, but yeah. Jonathan Lipnicki didn't transition well into adulthood. What does he look like now? Jonathan Lipnicki. Yeah, I mean, hey, where someone like me, I look exactly the same. Like I look the same. Like if you see my is it in here? Let me see. Hold on. Uh like you see my high school pictures. I really I don't look very different. Like at all. Um where did I see that? I saw it recently. A friend of mine. Oh no, it was with Billy and Jay. They were like, "Hey, send some old pictures for something." And it was something for Retropalooza, and I don't think they ever did anything with it. But I look pretty much the same as I did back then. And I don't know where that picture went. It was me from high school. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Going from Home Alone to a cold-blooded kid who has no remorse. You need the Little Vampire Part 2? Okay. Joaquin Phoenix was in the 80s movie Explorers. Was he? I thought he was in Space Camp. And his name then was Leaf Phoenix. You got Ethan Hawke. Oh, you're talking about River Phoenix. There you go. There you go. Seventh was on top of it, apparently. So there you go. I love Space Camp. My DVD broke. Space Camp, man, I love that movie too. And I had a crazy crush on Leah Thompson and Kelly Preston back in those days. And you know what? Both of them were great looking later in life. Unfortunately, Kelly Preston passed away a couple of years ago, right? How do you say his last name? Frankie Moon. I mean, I think Munoz, but it's not Munoz because it's an I. So it's a Munoz. Muniz. How do you pronounce that? I loved Space Camp and I totally forgot about it until now. Yeah, I mean you've got was it Tate Donovan? The black guy that was in Revenge of the Nerds, I can't remember his name, but Leah Thompson, Kate Capshaw. Kate Capshaw was good looking. Muniz? That's how you say it? Lamar. Yeah. I met Leah Thompson. Leah Thompson? Leah? think it's Leah, right? Leah Thompson at a HorrorCon in 2014, but still, it's a good looking woman. And I mean, look, her daughter is, old enough now. She's pretty good looking too. Just saying. I'm just saying. Mew at aka Miyuniz. Hey, I don't know. I haven't seen. Oh, Jennifer Connelly is, like, no question, one of the most beautiful women of my life, like I've ever seen in my life. She just is. She's awesome. Amanda Bynes was cute back in the day, but then she had some work done, and man, she looks rough, a little rough now. I'm just saying. I really, and this is one of those things where I have no place to say anything, right? um, I'm not, I'm not a young actress. I'm not vying for roles. My popularity dependent upon my looks and all that kind of stuff, right? So I have no place saying anything. But for me, I I dislike it when I see beautiful people get plastic surgery at such a young age. It just it's just sad to me. And it's a product of that environment of this you've got to be the young hot girl for as long as possible, you know what I mean? And it's just like it's just sad to me. Because like there are many women that didn't get work done and they look great, you know? So, after Rocketeer, well, I mean, that is a thing. I mean, it can cause lots of problems. But yeah, career opportunities. Wow. Wow. Lindsay Lohan and Mean Girls, yeah. But yeah. Well, I think we've declined into would you or wouldn't you. I think that means it's time to end the stream. I got to tell you though, my it's been a while since I've talked this much. My throat is parched. I need like I need to drink this whole thing of water. Maybe not right now. When's the next hangout? That's a good question. I hadn't even thought about it, to be honest with you. Um, I know this weekend may not be good, but let me find out. Demolition Man era Sandra Bullock. Uh, but yeah, we'll talk about that in the Discord. Um, it may be next weekend, but it just depends on what is going on because I know there's some things. There's definitely some things happening, but I don't know when. Like April and I are going to go hiking this weekend. So it depends on when she wants to do that. But I think actually wait a minute. I think Saturday afternoon maybe might be good. I think it's Saturday. We'll have to talk about it. I may or may not have a face cam. It's fine. You might sell your Canon M200 to Jim. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out. I think it's Saturday afternoon though that I think I might actually be free. There's a Sony ZV-1 you want. Interesting. Interesting. So built-in lenses. ZV1 or ZVE1? Not sure if I should get a face cam. You should. ZV1F. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, can't look at that. But I see what you're saying. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, do it. Quit talking about it. Just do it. More than enough camera for you? I mean, the thing is, you can get very inexpensive if it's just going to be for like Zoom and stuff. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go crazy. I mean, for me, I went a little crazy because I was trying to think ahead and say, okay, I wanted lenses so I could do really good close-ups, you know, and so it would bokeh out the back. I wanted it to be able to quick. I mean, how quick that is? That's pretty quick. Okay, not so quick. Come on. Okay, there you go. And then it's not bad. That's what I wanted. But I didn't need to go this far. And this is just a 1080p camera. I think it's got 4K playback, but it's just a 1080p. But I spent I spent 530 on that camera at the time. I don't know how much it is now. That's if he ends up buying mine. If not, then, well, I don't need it. Well, there you go. And yeah, see, I like 60. I like 60 frames per second. So I'd rather have a 1080p 60. A 4K 30 does nothing for me. Just don't care. I like the way that it looks in 60 frames. But anyway, look, thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. And thank you guys for chatting. And thank you guys for just, hanging out. And I went way too long. I honestly didn't think that was going to take as long as it did to go through those pictures. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. I mean, some of you seem to enjoy it, at least. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't try to bore you or anything, but I really appreciate you guys hanging out every week and just talking movies or whatever. We just have a good time. That's what this is all about. Let's just have a good time. But anyway, you guys have a great weekend, and yeah, we'll talk in the Discord about possibly getting together on Saturday, because I think Friday night's busy. Not sure, but we'll talk about it. That's the beauty of having a Discord, because we can talk anytime we want. So, okay then, y'all have a great one. See you later.